What's going on, Music Heads? It's your man Louie T here with another installment of Music Head University. Today is a special installment of Can't Unhear It, chopped and screwed edition, I guess. It's kind of hard to say because I really want to celebrate an album that's coming up on its 20-year anniversary. People slept on it back in 2004 when it was released. Kind of want to give it its flowers right now. So it's kind of a flowers, sort of a Can't Unhear It edition. Want to pay homage to Chopped and Screwed, and DJ Screw want to pay homage to this next artist we're going to talk about. So it's a lot of that stuff intertwined in this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. I know I did. Music Heads, classes in session. Turn me up. So the artist in question today is Teedra Moses. And Complex Simplicity is an album that simply does not get the credit that it deserves. I don't think people were receptive to that album when it came out. I can vividly remember being a freshman on the campus of Norfolk State University. Shout out to NSU. Behold the green and gold. I can vividly remember Hot 91, right? Playing Teedra Moses repeatedly and just thinking how dope of an artist she was, and then hearing the album, the entire project in its entirety, and thinking, oh my God, this is a work of art, and it just not being received. And you got to think about the musical climate back in '04 when this was released. And my memory can be a little bit hazy. You're talking about over 20 years ago, essentially. August, I think, of 2004 is when this album was released. So you're talking about essentially 20 years. But thinking about the musical climate, sonically, what was popping then, right? What was on the airwaves and people were really, vibing to. Think about Khalees and Milkshake. Think about A. Marie, One Thing. That might have been '04 into '05. But that was in that same time period. Think about Sierra Goodies. I mean, that was her first single. That was her first album. And think about how big Goodies was. And everything was sort of upbeat. Think about Beyonce, Crazy in Love. Think about that Dangerously in Love album, which really catapulted Beyonce into superstardom. And, think about Sean Paul. He was really big in like '02 into '03 and really buzzing and popping. And, that Dangerously in Love album had, the Sean Paul cut up there, Baby Boy. And so think about how everything was kind of up-tempo, right? That was the vibe. Christina Milian, Dip It Low. Sadly, I will admit this. I am a little ashamed, but I'm not ashamed. If I was ashamed enough, I wouldn't tell you this. I had Dip It Low as a ringtone. Don't judge me. Yeah, I should be ashamed of myself. But that was the ringtone era. I can't believe that my phone would ring and Dip It Low would play. I should be ashamed of myself. But that was what was popping back in '04. Everything was upbeat. And Teedra really didn't fit into that category when she released Complex Simplicity. And I think that's kind of why she went under the radar. Didn't really get the play that she deserved, the spins that she deserved on major radio stations. Didn't get pushed the way that I thought she should have. And they re-released this album. As a matter of fact, let's go over to the Learning Center and talk more about it. They re-released Complex Simplicity in 2019, the 15-year anniversary, because they knew how good of an album it was. And maybe if we put it out now in a different era where people are more receptive to different types of music, maybe it'll get the kind of, play and the reception that it deserves. I don't know if it received what it deserved back in 2019 either, but I'm going to make sure that I bring awareness to not just this particular project, which was just ridiculously good, And if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and listen to it. There's another song up there. I played you a song, as a matter of fact, from this album called Rescue Me. That was one of the exit tracks on one of the episodes, back in the archives. You got to go dig through the crates and figure out which one of the episodes it was on. I can't tell you, but it was up there, because this is how fond of this album I am, that I reached in and grabbed Rescue Me and played it for you guys. Well, I'm going to give you another song here, but I also want to pay homage to a different culture and a different type of music. So Chopped and Screwed was really big in the South, particularly in Houston. That's where it originated with DJ Screw. And obviously it became a phenomenon where it hit the music airwaves. And right around this time that this album Complex Simplicity came out in '04 is where you started to see Chopped and Screwed really hit its stride and become mainstream with, Paul Wall and all of those artists. And there were a lot of groups and a lot of artists that were really pushing that type of sound, but it didn't really catch fire until, Paul Wall, Mike Jones, and all of those artists, UGK and all of those guys really started to really push it towards the mainstream consciousness. And my first exposure, I can't speak for any of you. You might have been, bumping, DJ Screw back in 95 and 96 when he was pumping out all of these tapes, and you were hip to the game. But I didn't get wind of Chopped and Screwed until '04 with this Teedra Moses song that I'm going to play for you today. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I was not aware. One thing about living in VA, from VA, 2 up, 2 down, y'all know what it is, representing VA all day, every day, 757. If you know what it is, you know what it is. But one thing about being in VA is we got our own style, but we are a big melting pot because of our military background. And so it's really a transient area because of the military presence. And so we get a lot of influence from up north, New York, Jersey, Philly. We get that energy, but we also take it from down south because we're technically down south, but we get a lot of that Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee. We get a lot of that influence as well, right? So we're a big melting pot. And I don't know how I missed on Chopped and Screwed. Maybe because in order to really probably enjoy it, you had to be maybe high or you had to be on lean. Like, it's funny. I was listening to a bunch of people talk about Chopped and Screwed and the music in that scene. And he was like, and a lot of people that I've talked to said to a man that normal music sounds like Chopped and Screwed, or the tempo at least, and how much it's slowed down when you're on lean. It sounds like that, right? So can you imagine what Chopped and Screwed sounds like if you're on lean? If the normal version that's actually at the regular tempo and speed sounds slow, what does it sound like if you're on lean and you're listening to Chopped and Screwed? I can't even imagine. My brain can't even compute, but that's nor here nor there. If you're out there and you can talk about that, you can speak to that, I'd love to hear from you on that facet, but I'm going to leave that alone because I don't have any experience in that at all. But what I can tell you about, what I do have experience about, is this Teedra Moses that we're about to play today. And what I'm going to do is play the same track for you, all right? One from her album back in 2004, Complex Simplicity, entitled Caught Up. All right, a track that was my favorite track, not because of the actual song, which I do like, but I think one of the things that I love about Chopped and Screwed, and if it's done correctly, if you catch it in its rarest form, if it's as good as it's supposed to be, the Chopped and Screwed version makes you forget about the original version. It almost makes you not want to even hear the original version. It takes the place of the original version. At at its core, the essence of Chopped and Screwed, that's how it's supposed to work. Like the original version is fine, but I prefer the Chopped and Screwed version, right? That's how I feel about this particular song. After hearing the Chopped and Screwed version, my ears can't unhear the Chopped and Screwed version. I don't hear the regular version when I hear this song. I hear the Chopped and Screwed version, and if it's not the Chopped and Screwed version, I don't want it. I'm going to play you the original version, Caught Up, at its normal speed and tempo, and then I'm going to play you this Caught Up, Chopped and Screwed version, and you tell me which is the better of the two. You already know how I feel and where I stand, but I'm going to let you decide for yourself. So I'm going to start with the original Chopped and Screwed, Teedra Moses, Caught Up, from her 2004 debut album, Complex Simplicity, a classic. If you haven't already checked that album out, shame on you. And this is an opportunity for you to go and do that, right? A wise man once told me it's never the wrong time to do the right thing, right? Go do the right thing and check this album out if you haven't already done so. But I'm going to help you. I'm going to jumpstart that by playing. I've already played Rescue Me from this album, and if you listen to that and you hadn't heard the album and you hadn't heard that song, you can't tell me that you didn't think that was fire. Here's another track from this album entitled Caught Up. Take a listen. Teedra Moses, 2004 album, Complex Simplicity. Caught Up. Take a listen. Now, that was fire, right? Like, I love it, right? And I didn't know any better until I heard this version that I'm about to play for you. Now, this other version that I'm about to play is straight GMF. Like, I was laughing. If you saw me laughing a couple of times throughout the song, was because in my mind, and I told you I can't unhear it. This is why this is Can't Unhear It. Just like when I talked about with Rich Boy, I can't unhear it, right? I'm singing the chopped and screwed version in my head. I'm adding in the extra parts that aren't in the regular version, and that's a testament to just how good the chopped and screwed version is. It's really my favorite version of this song, and honestly, for me, really, it's the only version of this song, which I'm going to play for you right now. Check out Teedra Moses, Chopped and Screwed, Caught Up. You tell me which one is better. Now you can't tell me that version right there that I just played for you, that chopped and screwed version of Teedra Moses, Caught Up, isn't GMF. That don't hit a little different than the sped up original version. Slow down, and one of the ways that you can learn a song is to listen to the chopped and screwed version, because you're going to slow it down. You're going to hear every single word, every single syllable. You're going to know exactly what's being said, but at its core, that is what chopped and screwed is supposed to be right there. Now, if you listen to DJ Screw, it's a lot slower than that, right? He's slowing that jank down. Every chop and screw DJ Screw song is about 6 to 7 minutes minimum, right? More likely it's going to be 11, 12 minutes long, depending on the song and the length of the original. But this one wasn't slowed down as much, but it was, to me, slowed down at the perfect speed, the perfect tempo. It didn't drag the song out longer than it needed to be, but it hit. It just, this, I mean, God, I could listen to this all day, right? And that's the essence of what Chopped and Screwed was supposed to be about. So that leads me to today's homework, which is simply, when were you first exposed to Chopped and Screwed? You could have grew up down south. You could have grew up in Houston, and all you know is Chopped and Screwed, right? You could have been like me. Chopped and Screwed was really originated in the early to mid 90s. I didn't get wind of it until the early 2000s, okay? I just told you this was the first Chopped and Screwed that I really was exposed to back in '04. So it could be a lot different for you. I can't wait to hear, your experience with Chopped and Screwed and what, you were able to get from it. And when you heard it first, what was the song you heard? Leave it all down in the comment section. I'm dying to know what your first experience with Chopped and Screwed was. But I want to continue on with the theme of this Complex Simplicity album. I told you it's a fire album. If you haven't already listened to it, I mean, seriously, what have you been doing for the last 20 years? I kid. I mean, not everybody is exposed to everything, but that's why I'm here, right? That's what MusicHead University is all about. So with that said, I want to play a song for you. This to me was my favorite Teedra Moses songs. Before I found this Chopped and Screwed version, I found the Chopped and Screwed version towards the tail end of '04, going into '05. But this was the song that they were playing on Hot 91, at NSU's radio station over and over. And this is what put me on to Teedra Moses right here. You probably heard this song in some way, shape, or form. You may not have known who the artist was. You may have heard it in passing. You may not have stopped to think, oh, who is that? Or you may have never heard it at all. Either way, you're going to hear it today. Here is Teedra Moses from her 2004 album, Complex Simplicity. This is, to me, probably her biggest hit. If I had to guess, I'd say this is her biggest hit. It may not be. I think it is, personally, and it's my favorite Teedra Moses song, until I found that Chopped and Screwed version of Caught Up. Take a listen.
Don't know if you got a girl. Don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you, I swear. Visions of you and I. feel me. Wanna love you good, just wanna be your girl. I wonder, you gotta feel me, yeah. I wanna love you good, wanna be your
So that was Be Your Girl by Teedra Moses off that 2004 fire album that I've talked about already ad nauseum, Complex Simplicity. It's a ridiculous album that I just think simply doesn't get enough play. And I may even run back and when we get to 2000 and August of 2024. So in a couple of months from now, I may even come back around to this album again and just reiterate the fact that it's the 20-year anniversary and let y'all know what's really good with this album. But what I also wanted to do was put y'all onto some game. Like Teedra has still been active. She's that '04 album isn't the only music that she's put out. Like she didn't just fall off the face of the musical landscape after '04. She's been busy and she's kept active. And one of her latest songs, it's not the absolute latest song, but it's one of the best that I've heard from her here recently. This is from 2022. It's a track that I'm going to play for you here. And again, Teedra Moses is a very talented artist, and sometimes some of these artists fall through the cracks. And so this is a song that she put out not too long ago. When I rock with you, I rock with you. So I'm checking for you. I'm seeing if when you put stuff out, and she's one of those artists that I rock with. So this one caught my attention. I'm gonna play it for you. So this is Teedra Moses. This is a rare 2-piece, all right, exit track situation. Normally you get one and we done and we out the door. I'm gonna give you 2 today because this is how much I love Teedra Moses. I'm gonna drop this for you. Take a listen to this song from 2022 from Teedra Moses. We'll talk about it at the end. And you know, I want to clean one thing up too. Did you guys know that song, Be Your Girl? Do you know who that was about? She actually told us in an interview, I think it was in 2019, I want to say, she told us that song, Be Your Girl, was about Nas. Think about that for a second. She was like, I didn't know he was with Khalees when I wrote that. I had wrote it 2 years prior to when it was released. At that point, he was not with anybody. Then, by the time it came out, he was with Khalees. And she said she actually had been Nas's stylist, like one of his stylists. And she just, had these feelings about him, but never said anything. And that's what spawned that song. That's what prompted her to write that song. So I was like, damn, that's pretty interesting stuff. I did not know that. Sometimes you wonder who's the inspiration, if there's even an inspiration. Sometimes you just got people writing songs for you. There's no inspiration necessarily behind it. But when you write the song yourself, usually there's some sort of inspiration. And she told us it was Nas, essentially. That's pretty dope. Anyway, take a listen to this. This is Teedra Moses, circa 2022.
We ain't gotta make it complicated. Either you want it or you don't. Love me or you won't. But I won't wait. 'Cause I don't wait. You say I'm on your mind. Well, then call me on the phone. Tell me what you own. Pop up on the real one time. If I'm really on your mind, show me now. Boy, make me. Boy, make me the only one. Look at me now, see exclusive frequencies, levels on royalty. Now don't hold it back when I get all of me, but it's gotta be only me. If you are all my love, all you gotta make me. You're only one. Boy, make me. Boy, make me the only one you give your love to. You gotta make me. Boy, make me. Baby, make me the one. Boy, make me the only one you give your love to. If you want all my love, boy, make me. You're only one. This exclusive type of kid. You gon' have to cut them hoes off. Cut them all off, cut them off. Oh, baby, make me the one. Make me. It's only me. It's only me and no one. Why was it me? Don't waste your time. If you want all my love. It's only me and no one. Boy, you gotta make me. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. 'Cause it's all me. I'll give all you ever need. Gotta make me. If you want my love, you gotta show me. Make me your only. You gotta make your only one.
So that was Make Me by Teedra Moses. That's from 2022. Fire Cut. She actually had another version of this song that she did with Eric Bellinger. Not my speed. This is right here. This is more my speed right here. Yeah, Teedra at her core, killing it, giving you more of that stuff that you've come to know Teedra for and love her for. And I love it. I love this track, and I thought it was a dope track. Wanted to play it for you. So she's been busy, right? She didn't just fall off the face of the musical landscape. She's been out here putting out quality content, and Lionhearted is another project that if you haven't had a chance to check out, I'd advise you to check that out as well. But don't get me started on Teedra Moses. Wanted to give her flowers. Also want to give a cold one, a nice cold one. May he rest in peace to DJ Screw, the pioneer of Chopped and Screwed. He really revolutionized the way people hear music, and kind of set a chain of events in motion that allowed a lot of people to get on that might not have gotten on had he not done the things that he did. So I wanted to kind of bring both worlds together, so to speak, on this particular episode, and hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you haven't been exposed to either one of those, whether it's Teedra Moses or DJ Screw, that whole movement of Chopped and Screwed music, hopefully this is something that'll allow you to go down the rabbit hole, right? Anyway, I digress. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T here on this installment of MusicHead University. I look forward to chopping it up with you the next time. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. There's plenty more where this came from, so subscribe to MusicHead University for more content. Become a member of the university. I look forward to giving you more lessons and more of the content you've come to know and love from MusicHead University. But until then, I'm your man Louie T signing off. You guys have a good one. Take care. Peace.